Hello everyone, this is Diassure, and this video is going a bit of uh, it's going to be a bit of a rambling video about my life and some issues I've been facing. I guess I wanted to kind of put this out there because it's been going on for some time, and I guess if you follow me on my socials, you know that I'm basically facing some issues, and I'm going to explain them a bit on my video, on this video. Um, and so what's in the background is my watch, my most prized possession. And so what it's going to be about is talks about anxiety, chronic illness, and how it affects one life. And I guess especially in my case. Um, so so where do I start? Well, I can tell you a bit of the kind what person I am in real life, I guess. I can start by say that currently and for the past few years, I mean, most of my life I've always been to some extent socially withdrawn, but for the 5 or so years of my life, for the last 5 years of my life, I've been pretty socially withdrawn due to chronic illness and anxiety. And if you have both of them together, no matter what the relationship between the two is, it's something that's not really easy to deal with. And so I've been stuck with this basically. So I mean, to explain this further, basically the issue is that since I guess 7 years ago, I've been having anxiety episodes which impacted my life in some sort of phases. Sometimes I would be without it, and sometimes it would grow stronger, and I would have a harder time doing things. But then I will be all right again, and then it's not well. And I've seen psychologists for that already. It's not been very extremely effective, unfortunately. Um, but the how do I say that? Well, the issue is that it's still more or less going on, and on top of that, since 5 years ago, I started getting that digestive disease, chronic one, which to make it short, because it's all kinds of stuff, but basically to make it short, it's more like I get nausea very easily after eating, when I'm walking. It's something is fucked up with my stomach basically, and it's not really fun. And also I get other stuff, and so it's a very annoying, extremely annoying illness, because it's going to happen every day. Sometimes it's just you wake up and you feel like you ate something bad the previous day, even though you ate nothing bad. And it's a lot of that, a lot of this. No energy, also no energy, and of course getting depressed as a result of all of this happening. Um, and so as a result, since basically even if I just walk, I would often get nauseous, this really made everything more difficult for me, like getting outside and getting stuff, just not very easy when it's like this. Like I won't even delve into the embarrassing part of that, but it's not. I mean, even if you don't take that into account, it's not very pleasant sensation to be nauseous at all. And obviously, you don't really feel safe when you feel nauseous, so it doesn't help. And this is there are two ways I've been exploring this. One way would be that it's some kind of disease, so I need to get that medically checked, and that's what I did. I need to get that medically checked, and the doctor is going to try to fix it. And I've seen a gastroenterologist. I've seen two actually. I've seen two gastroenterologists, and I did a lot of testing. And what happened was that they found basically nothing. They found gastritis, but they prescribed me something for it, and it didn't work really well. And the next time I've seen the doctor, they just didn't prescribe me anything. So, I mean, I've seen the doctor several times already, like maybe 8 times for the specialist, and God knows how many times for the regular doctor, like maybe 20, 30 times, to try to, get some prescription about this or that medication. But in the scheme of things, it's not been helping a lot. And so basically, as far as medical concerns go, they didn't find anything really weird. So I guess I'm fine in that aspect, which is good because, of course, like every other person, I'm not really fond of getting a scary disease. So at least I'm clear, but at the same time, I still experience the symptoms, and it's not really fun because otherwise I would just, if I just go out of the apartment and walk outside, within 1 or 2 minutes I would start feeling a bit nauseous, and then more and more nauseous, and maybe it will peak like uh, 15 minutes in, and I would just feel uneasy, and by that point I would already have enough. And then it goes on, forever until maybe I sit down somewhere comfortable, and then it can go down, and then I can feel somewhat okay again. And that's how it goes. So there was the medical explanation I tried to get, which I didn't, because last time I seen the gastroenterologist, it was like, we don't find anything, there's not even a treatment that could fix what you have, apparently, because as far as the doctor knows, it's functional. And so if it's functional, it means that it's the interaction between the brain and the digestive system which fucks up everything, which I guess can be the case, but medicine doesn't do a lot of that afterwards. Of course, I've been trying antiemetics, but they don't work. So that's the issue. I mean, that's that didn't work, of course, because I'm a lucky person. And so the other idea is, of course, the psychosomatic one. Like, I used to have anxiety. I still have anxiety to a certain extent, and the illness doesn't help because, of course, like if I'm feeling literally sick in situations, it's not going to help me feel comfortable in those situations, of course. So that's the issues, and it's reinforcing. It's like a negative feedback loop in which the illness is reinforcing the anxiety, and in turn, maybe the anxiety also fuels the illness if it is indeed psychosomatic, which is what I'm exploring right now because basically in a few months I'm going to be moving somewhere else, and so there is no point in being followed by a doctor for like 1 month, and then just starting another time with another doctor, and as far as the result went, they didn't find anything wrong with me that will justify the symptoms. Also, as a result, I couldn't get a proper explanation as to why I had those issues with the workplace, which became another issue because basically, as a result of my illness and the challenge it's been putting on me, I have been fired from my job. So I'm currently unemployed. I mean, recently unemployed. My contract formally terminated 1 week ago. And so, yeah, I'm currently unemployed because of it. Um, I lost my job basically because, because there was the illness, there was the impossibility of, not working remotely, which was an issue at several occasions with the workplace, even though I could technically do the work remotely. And there was probably a layer of depression above all that, because if you're socially withdrawn for years, if you're sick every day, then yeah, you're not going to be in a great shape mentally speaking. So I fell into a depression. I was underperforming at my job. They noticed and they put pressure on me to try to get me to quit, which I did because I had enough of that. So that's about it. And so that's the current situation I'm stuck into. That's not a really pleasant one. I guess things could be worse. But it's very tiring to get the symptoms every day. On top of that, currently I have some sort of insomnia going on. Because I have digestive issue, it seems to disturb also my sleep. So I've been having that issue as well. Sometimes I would just wake up and feel sick, basically. Um, some days it would be like that, and at this point I get all sorts of issues. It makes me lean into this being more of a psychosomatic issue, which is the angle I'm trying to put to try to get that fixed. But it's no easy task. Because basically the idea is to try to reprogram your mind so that your brain stop fucking up your digestive system. It doesn't seem that easy, and of course that means working on the possibly underlying anxiety, trying to work on that. So that's what I'm basically trying to achieve right now, because medically I've been basically, I've been finding nothing medically. So as far as my employment go, basically I started getting my illness 1 year before I graduated, roughly. And at first it wasn't interfering that much, but then it started really interfering. Around the same time I started getting my internship, which became my full-time job, and I started working as a cybersecurity consultant after I got my diploma. My diploma is basically the kind of the equivalent of a master's in in computer science. So that's probably my, how do you say that, my skill. Um, and so I've been working as a cybersecurity consultant for mostly remotely because of my issues for 4 years, almost 4 years. And so I worked for several companies on various topics related to cybersecurity. At some point, I was managing special IT rights for a bank. And after a while, yeah, things went south and I got fired. So that's where I'm at currently. Um, and yeah, that's it. Just goes to show how health is the pillar of everything. And if your health fucks up, if your health gets fucked up in one way or another, mental or physical or both, things will not go well. And actually, I'm actually thinking, I'm in some extent lucky to have been able to keep my job this long, despite my issues. Because if I'd been working for minor employers, you know, employers who truly didn't give a shit, I guess I would have gotten, fired earlier because no one wants a sick employee working for them. So of course, and so that's where I'm at, basically. So that's about it with my issues. My opinion is that my illness may be caused by anxiety because I used to have agoraphobia at some point, and I thought I managed to fix this, but it seems like it came back. And also, even if I managed to overcome it psychologically, I still get sick for some reason. So, you know, it's a complicated situation, and I'm trying to use the psychosomatic angle to try to get to fix it. And if I fix it, basically, essentially, I fix my life. So that's where I'm at. I might do other videos like this on other subjects, which may be more interesting than just my life and my current status. Maybe about maybe I would do one about books I've read, or some thoughts about life in general, something maybe a bit more uplifting. um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that, put this out there, because I do feel sort of lonely about it, and it's been years of being socially isolated because of my ongoing illness and losing employment, and also so it weighs on my mind. And maybe I'm just putting this out there, basically. So otherwise, yeah, I might do videos on other topics. uh, I guess sometimes I just like to talk about things. Sometimes I talk about things, and it's interesting. I mean, maybe not to you, but I like doing that, basically. So thanks for listening, and I might do other videos like this. Okay.